Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of MC Eternal. I hope that everyone is doing great today. I know that I am. Today is June the 21st of 2020 and we're jumping right back on into things today, and we have some awesome news for this mod pack. It was just recently updated. It was actually updated I think on the 16th maybe. I am recording this a bit in advance, so by the time you're seeing this, you might have already updated your pack if you're playing, but I would highly recommend it because they changed so much with it. Now let me pull up really quickly the changes here. So first and foremost, the questing has been, for the most part, overhauled. They've added a lot of new quests. They've cleaned up a decent amount of the introductory quests. And they've added a bunch of extra rewards onto many of the quests, which I already went through and I collected because it's a little bit time consuming and it doesn't really matter to most of you. So yeah, they also went ahead, they buffed mine colonies a little bit. They added more strength to the guards and rangers so they can actually defend against some of these higher level mobs that are in this pack. So that's a good thing. Obviously, we don't do mine colonies. We haven't gotten into it, or we did get into it, but we're not doing it anymore because it just wasn't working out in the way that really it would be nice for it to work out in this mod pack, but that's okay. But they did buff that if you guys were interested in it. They did add new dangerous spawns to the beneath. They added additional Easter eggs. They added the B-Dex mod. They did do a bunch of different fixes and tweaks, and they also added a new secret chapter into this mod pack, which is pretty cool. I'll show you guys what I believe that is in just a minute. They did remove roguelike dungeons, and they replaced it with a version of the same mod. It's the FNAR edition. And then they also removed Plustic, I believe it's pronounced, and they replaced it with more tool mats. They also say they updated overall 22 different mods through all of the different things they've done. So let me run through them really quickly for you. We have the Between Lands, Astral Sorcery, Building Gadgets, Champions, Charm, Doggy Talents, Electroblob's Wizardry, Twilight Spell Pack, Fish's Undead Rising, Feed the Beast Quests, Ice and Fire, Hats, Immersive Engineering, Inventory Pets, Mousies, Mobs, Rats, Treasure 2, Vampirism, Integrations, and Gacha Core, I believe it's how it's pronounced. So yeah, a ton of different mods have been updated, which I feel like really pumps new life into this mod pack, at least for me. I know I probably annoyingly talked quite a bit on, ultimately moving away from this pack and starting into something different, but I feel like it's kind of breathed a little fresh air into it. And the secret chapter, or at least what I believe the secret chapter is to be, has kind of given me a little bit more excitement on continuing with the pack. So we're going to do a few more videos than I was anticipating with this. Just keep the ball rolling. Obviously, we have some more Electroblobs to do. I actually did a decent amount of stuff off camera to get prepared for Electroblobs. And I'm ready to do it. It's not going to be this episode, though, because I have some other plans that I want to do. I want to explore the update a little bit more and take advantage of some of the cool things they started adding in. So first and foremost, we're going to go into the quests here, and we're going to start in the introductory area. So as you can see, it looks very different. If you're used to looking at it, it looks very different. They've definitely trimmed it down a lot. They've taken a lot of the things out of it, and they've added in a few additional items and shifted them all around. So over here now we have our Fish's Undead Rising, as pointed out with this little exclamation point, which you'll see common throughout all of these now, as being the areas that were updated or are new. So we have a whole area over here for this now. I know before it had its own stuff, but I think they added in a few more things for this quest line, if I'm not mistaken, that we can take advantage of and go through. They also added in a little nether area over here, which is pretty cool. So they also added in small nether bounty areas that you can complete up here too, which is cool because we have our bounty board down here somewhere, I believe. What, boss challenges? Nope. Where is our, which one was the bounty board? Now I am, there we go, under exploration. Yeah, so they had the bounty board, which has stuff, but now up here, they have a little bounty board in relation to the nether. And I feel like we've completed some of these bounties before for the normal one, but now obviously they have them in here as well. So, to each their own, it seems still pretty cool. So, from there, they still have an area over here for Ice and Fire, which we might actually dive into to complete some of these quests for, because it'd be kind of cool to do. Get some free goodies out of this bad boy over here. When I did log in, like I mentioned before, a lot of these had some additional rewards with it that you can just easily collect. So nothing too crazy. Farming and agriculture, I did notice that they added in cooking for blockheads. There's now a quest line for this. There never was before, which was kind of interesting considering how useful it can be in regards to cooking. A lot of this other stuff wasn't like super helpful. Basically, it was just, oh, make this stuff, complete it. But now they've added in a specific section that somewhat helps you through the process of setting up cooking for blockheads, which I know is actually probably one of my more viewed episodes around this series. It's a very cool mod, and I definitely would recommend you guys checking it out if you want to get into a good way of getting food production up and going. Now, mine colonies, as you can see, updated as well. They just mainly added in additional rewards. So for example, for this restaurant, before it was just money, but then they added an emerald reward onto that as well. So nothing too crazy in this tab here. Now, in regards to the exploration and the bounty board, they did add a few more things onto here. And I actually completed some things off camera, like killing the armored giants in the Twilight Forest, because I did go to the Twilight Forest to collect stuff for Electroblobs to get that episode ready, because I was anticipating that this episode was actually going to be around it, but then they did the update. So we are ready and roaring to go on that in the next episode. But we did complete that, so we got that done. And then they added a few more things in here, like Druid Mage now is in here, and it has a different icon than all the rest. I don't know why that is, but I mean, hey, it's pretty cool that they added it in. Going into dimensions, they did add some new stuff over here. So in regards to the Betweenlands, they now have a little quest for using an aircraft to soar the skies of the Betweenlands, which is pretty cool if you're just starting off. Maybe you don't have a jetpack or you don't have a super useful jetpack. This could be a good addition for you to take advantage of. I'm going to skip over the magic and spell casting because there's a lot of stuff in regards to Electroblobs that we've done that I don't want to spoil just yet. So I'm actually going to shift down a little bit here. I know you guys already probably saw some of it, but they updated some of these quest lines in here. As you can see, this has been updated. Over here for Thaumcraft has been updated. Vampirism has been updated a little bit. And then over here for Botania, this was updated as well. If we go into legendary artifacts, not too much has changed here. The one thing that I did get, which I want to show you guys in just a minute here, is the glass sword. This is from the Twilight Forest. And I might have found competition to the Supremium sword. But we'll get to that in just a minute here. Introduction to Science. Again, a lot of these quests have been updated in some form or fashion. I'm assuming based upon these exclamation points. There's also this railway section down here, which I didn't notice before. I don't know if it's necessarily new or if it's been here and I've just overlooked it. That could just be a miss on my part, but this would be kind of cool to look into a little bit more. Advanced Science is very similar. A few updates spread throughout here. Unfortunately, they don't go super in depth. Now, I know in several episodes ago, when they did an update, I saw this space exploration little Easter egg over here to the side. Well, now they have a separate tab for it. And this is what makes me excited a little bit more for this pack to keep going with it. So they put a date in here, July 15th of 2020. Be there or be square. Across the seas of space, the stars are our other suns. So it looks like we're getting some space exploration coming very, very soon to this mod pack, which would be really cool to have. Mystic Agriculture, nothing has changed there. In the Bosses tab, they did add in a section for the Undertaker, which I actually took out off camera, but we're going to find one and we're going to take one out again. These are the rewards that you get for doing it. A little bit of money, some black market container, villager's prize, which is really just diamonds, or not diamonds, emeralds, and then a dread lich staff there. Under challenges, I don't think anything has really changed there. And then finally, unlockables, nothing really there. So anyway, I know I spent a lot of time running through all that, but I think it's really cool to look through everything and just see what they've changed. Especially if you're getting a little bit burnt out on things, it's nice to have some refreshers in those quests there. It definitely kind of pushes you to keep going through the mod pack and try new things. So as I mentioned before, my inventory is just trash right now. Let's get rid of a bunch of this junk. So as I mentioned before, get that put away, I did find something that is very comparable to the Supremium Sword. So if you guys remember, I did put out a whole episode outlining how to get the Supremium Sword. It is a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie, but I might have found something that's comparable that might not necessarily be as hard. You just need to do some exploration and somewhat get lucky to find it. That is the glass sword from the Twilight Forest. It has 40 damage. It has Leech 2 and Vorpal 1. Now it does have only 1 durability, it's showing, but it kind of makes me wonder if we could put Unbreaking on this. Like, for example, on our axe, we have Unbreaking on there. Now, I don't believe I have Unbreaking anywhere else, sitting on anything else right now. But it just makes me wonder if I put Unbreaking 10 on this bad boy, if it won't break. Like, that's what my curiosity is right now for it. So I'm going to take that off. Unbreaking 10, and I'm going to take the glass sword. It has base 40 damage. If you add sharpness to it, sharpness 5, it'll get you up to 43. But before I waste that book, I'm willing to waste an Unbreaking book to see what happens. Now, unfortunately, we do need to have a couple more levels here. So let me grab my tome here, and let's get some more levels. We need 35, it said, or something like that. So let's give this a go, because if this does work, this could be something crazy. So we have Unbreaking 10 on it. Let's give it a little trial here, and we're going to go out into the world and let's find some enemies. I'm going to turn my night vision on so you guys can see a little bit better. We have a spider here. All right, we were able to take him out. Now I don't know if it's because we have Unbreaking on here, or if it's because the 1 out of 1 means it won't break. Oh, no, no, no. Look at that. Durability. Wah, wah. We got nothing. No durability. But it still does pretty decent damage. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if it's because the durability's gone on it, but we're one-hitting these guys. Now, not the same... Oh, one-hit wonder challenge. What did we just completed something? What is that? I have no idea. Okay. I am like genuinely confused here. What has happened? Our glass sword went from being one hit and now it's gone. Okay. So we lost our durability on our axe here. But I'm glad I tried it out. Okay, so let me recap what happened here. Let me quickly clean up my inventory because it is a horrible mess right now. Well, we don't need a lot of this junk on us. Yeah, we don't really need that. That's fine. So basically, the glass sword, very comparable to our Supremium sword in damage. Our Supremium sword would last forever. Unfortunately, the glass sword only had 1 durability. Now, because we put Unbreaking 10 on there, I think that's what helped it last a little bit longer. But then for whatever reason, we got a progression for 1-hit wonder, and it gave us another sword, another glass sword without any enchantments on it, which was kind of interesting. So I mean, it was a cool experiment, cool to see with it, but ultimately, just because it only has one durability, it doesn't compare. So my final conclusion, not really worth it. It's a premium sword, definitely worth it. Definitely worth the trouble to go through to get it. So with that being said, we're going to go out here. We're going to try to find an Undertaker because they are probably the coolest to fight when it's nighttime out. The other thing I do want to mention, which I don't believe I mentioned, is because they added so much new stuff and took out so much stuff from this mod pack, I reset a lot of the chunks in our map here. So as you can see, this is all we have explored right now. All my waypoints are still out there. But I took my map and then I reset it so that things would regenerate, which was definitely worth it. It made it so much easier to find things now. And it just, again, it breathes new life into this mod pack. But anywho, things still generally spawn in the same areas. You know, like if a village spawned in a specific area before, it still pretty much spawns in that same area. So it's not like it's completely getting rid of things, but it definitely does do a good refresh, and it gets rid of any of the old stuff that's no longer in the mod pack. So here we go. We have an Undertaker right here. We're going to get going with him. I'm going to jump to this, get that on our sword here because it bumps it up to 45 damage, and we're going to take this guy out. So this guy is super cool. Like I said, this is the Undertaker from Fish's Undead Rising. He's really cool looking, and he's decently easy to find. He's actually not too hard to come across. And I really want him to spawn some bad guys. There we go. Now he spawns some bad guys. So he'll just continuously spawn these undead, unburied undead beings, which is pretty cool. That'll come out and attack you. But he has, what did it say, like about 3,000 health, which is, you know, it's a lot, definitely a lot, and it's a little bit glitchy, because as you can see, he spawned some of his followers in the ground there. But it's pretty cool. So that was the Undertaker. A little bit harder of a boss if you're not well prepared, but if you have the Supremium Sword, you'll do just fine against him. Oh, we do have an inventory pets thing here. Wow, that was like instantaneous. Woo. Okay. Let's clean up our inventory here. Get rid of a bunch of this junk that we don't need. What is this guy? Just a normal illager? What are you? A hunter illager. No, we've seen you before, yeah? Yeah, we've seen him before. He's nothing new. But yeah, as you can see, you can find these guys all over the place. There's another one right there. Now you can find the scarecrows a little bit easier as well. Definitely revamped the Fish's Undead Rising so you can find a lot of these things more. This guy is... What is this guy? He looks pretty new. Oh, I can't see what... You're going too fast. A peach forager. A petch forager. From Thaumcraft. What the heck? Oh. Why are we just instantly hungry now? Get some food going here. Interesting. He doesn't seem hostile towards us, but I can't do anything. Like, I can't trade with him or anything. So, I guess I just will let him be. I don't want to kill him. Just in the off chance that it's hard to find them. It seems like maybe this could be a spawn area for them. So, I'm just going to let him be over there. But yeah, definitely a lot easier to find a lot of the Fish's Undead Rising. That's definitely for sure. Obviously, you have to go out at night to find a lot of those guys. But ultimately, it's pretty cool. So, with that being said, we're going to land right here on this. We're going to turn off our night vision because it's starting to get daytime. And that never looks pretty. And we're going to look at what we have next. Well, first of all, once again, got to clean out this inventory here. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at our quests, maybe the bounty board, and see what we can do next. Alright guys, as I was going around doing a little exploration, I found a Crimson Knight portal here. So we can take these guys out because they are on our bounty board. And it was kind of funny because I found them before the bounty board became a thing. I found them several times before it became a thing. And then we never found one again. So, which is pretty funny. I want to try to, I guess we can't actually go through it. So I'm guessing it's not actually a portal for us to utilize. But it was pretty cool. So that took care of that quest to get that. I'll hold on to this. I think we have plenty of those. I don't think, well, let me hold on to one of them. It is from Thaumcraft, so we might utilize it at some point in time. But that does wrap up that part of the bounty board for us. So we can take a peek at what we got. If we go to exploration and we zoom out, we have the Crimson Knight taken out. We do need to take out a giant tentacle. How horrific, unnatural, stop. What? I have no idea. It does look like our inventory is extremely full though, so let's nix out some of this stuff we do not need. Oh, we have so much junk on our inventory. This is not even funny. Okay, maybe it doesn't help where we're standing. Let's go over here. And let's go into our backpack. We're going to store some stuff in here for the time being, just to free up our inventory. And then I'm actually going to open up our satchel here and stick some food in there because that'll definitely be useful. Now we should be able to go and collect all this stuff. So we got some money. We got a box of sealed evil. Interesting. And it said we made an advancement. Block of gold. And then we got a Crimson Cult banner, which is pretty cool. Now I don't know if what we completed was over here. I'm guessing it's not. Yeah, I don't see anything over here. But what is this from? Bewitchment. Uses. Does it have... You can buy it. Interesting. Okay. Now I kind of want to try it out. But I don't know if I want to try it out around here. Or if I want to try it out at my base, or if I want to try it farther away, because I don't know what it's ultimately going to result in. But yeah, that was pretty cool to find one of those. It was funny that we did find a few of them before the bounty board became a thing, and then obviously once the bounty board was up and going as a mechanic, we couldn't find another one. So that has been an outstanding bounty for us for quite some time, which is pretty funny. But anywho, I'm gonna do a little bit more exploration here, try to figure out what our next steps are, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, I am back at the base now, and I have our, what is this, box of sealed evil, and I wanted to try it out. And it just gave us a jump boost for 20 minutes. That's all it did. Okay, so it was nothing too crazy. I did want to try to do it over on the side there, just in case it was something worthwhile. It was close enough to the base, but then at the same time, it was it's far enough away where it shouldn't realistically destroy anything. So, okay, so now we know what it is. But, yeah, okay. Give me 1 minute, guys. We're going to jump over and do one last thing before we wrap out the episode here. Alright guys, so this is the last thing that I wanted to do for this episode. I realized that these structures now have spawned up here. These netherrack structures have spawned in the overworld, and I don't really know why. We really haven't seen them before in the overworld. Now we've seen plenty of them in the underworld, you know, in like the nether, I should say, but nothing up here. And there also has a new Fish's Undead Rising mob coming this way, the Miscus or something like that. But he is giving us poison like hella bad anytime he gets close. But he should be pretty easy to take out. The last of me, he was the last one to get going of him. I highly doubt that, but there we go. We got him taken out. And you know what? Actually, this might not be what I thought it would be. This might be, this might actually be something that already spawns typically. Let's get a light in here so we can see. Yeah, actually, I think this is something that typically spawns around this area. But we'll go through it anywho. We got some blaze in here. That's kind of interesting. Oh, we had a chest right there. But we got to unfortunately take... Well, fortunately, we have to take out the spawner. So let's get the spawner taken out because it just keeps spawning blazes all over the place. Holy smokes. And then there's a Skeletor. Alright, we got him taken out. Now let's see what we're getting out of this. Anything juicy. Replenish hunger. We'll definitely keep that because I don't have that one yet. But it doesn't look like anything crazy, so we're gonna keep going, I guess. Keep going downward. Oh my gosh, and so many blazes have spawned in here. And I'm guessing, yeah, this looks like it's the bottom. So, like I said, I don't think this is anything new, actually, now that we've gone through it. Oh, we got a novice one that's new, too. Oof. Okay, wow, we're finding some good things here. Coal and coal. Why isn't that? Oh, I didn't stack it, that's why. An ender book. Saved waypoints 0. Interesting. I'll definitely take that. I don't know what that's going to do for us. I'm going to take those leggings too. And we're going to stick some of this stuff in here that we definitely don't need on us. So, with that being said though, I think we're going to wrap the episode out there. Just because it's a good point to do so. Again, I wanted to mainly focus around the update to this game, and I feel like we made some pretty good points and touched on some pretty good things around the update. We got an evil wizard. You don't actually see evil wizards that often. Summon zombie, identifies unknown scrolls, and scroll of mind trick. I'll take those. But yeah, we touched on some pretty good points, I feel like, and we have it planned out pretty well for the next episode to continue on the path of Electroblobs, and then from there, just keep going on to different things. Maybe like the mine carts, or who knows. I did want to try, though. Maybe this isn't what I thought it was. I believe this is from something, and this is like a altar of kinds, but I don't know what exactly it is. I did want to try with a dragon skull to see if it would work, but it doesn't seem to be doing doing it for us there. So if you guys know, if you're aware of what those little mausoleums are for, if you can use them for spawning certain bosses or anything like that, you'll have to let me know in the comments down below. But like I said, guys, we're going to wrap out the episode. So I appreciate you so very much for sticking through till the end. If you like this episode, feel free to leave a like down below, or better yet, leave me a comment. Like I said, on the question I just posed would be great, or any other thing that is on your mind. I'd love to see what you have to say in the comment section. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. Very weirdly spawned village tucked in here. We're just going to plop down right here. If you're new to the channel, you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and bell notification. It'll let you know every single time a new episode is posted to the channel. I have been streaming over on Twitch. You can find that link in the description. So if you're interested in that, go follow me over on there. But other than that, guys, again, thank you for sticking through till the end of this episode. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks.